Got one really high performance mod right here too that a lot of people probably didn't see. Finger grab.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Detroit Speed Project Update vlog. My name's Cody, and I'm here with the man himself, Matt Butts.
What's up?
So we're gonna go through, just kind of show you everything that's been going on the past month, just to update you on things here at Detroit Speed. So let's get into it.
So first up, Simon Chevelle. Paul's been making a bunch of progress on the floorboard sheet metal work. This car is getting a 4L80 from Bowler. So anybody that's done any of this stuff knows that basically any of your late model transmissions don't fit in the stock tunnel. So as you can see here, tunnel's been raised, widened a little bit, and then the full length as well to gain some more drive shaft clearance, because plan on this car being pretty low. So
how much horsepower are we expecting out of this? Do you know?
This thing dynoed like 760 at the crank, I believe.
Nice.
So you know, it'll probably be mid 600s at the tire. 4L80, be able to hold that no problem.
Good,
so
nice.
You can see here too, he integrated a cross member into the floorboard. So that's rectangle tubing, goes over the hump there, and then the transmission cross member actually ties in.
That's pretty much been the biggest part of the Chevelle right now, just working on that.
Yeah, it's kind of time consuming because it's a lot of in and out with the motor and transmission.
Right, kind of testing it, make sure it fits, and seeing where you need to adjust.
Yep, so you know, you cut your initial hole, have the motor and transmission in, do your initial bell housing piece, shaping, get that tacked into place, and then you move on and basically work in sections all the way back, and you're just constantly checking your clearance, your driveline angle, and then of course building your cross member and everything like that. So it's a lot of back and forth, but it's what it takes to make sure you have the appropriate clearance around the transmission. And then once that gets done, more than likely move on to fitting front sheet metal, hood, grill, everything like that, start gapping stuff. So yeah, this is moving along good steady pace. So Randy's K5, Bruce has been making a bunch of progress. A couple of really big notable things are the power steps. Got them all mounted. Started out, it was a full length step. Randy did not want the full length to actuate. So what has happened is Bruce cut the center section out so that only the center part will be active. So you basically got like a rocker kind of tube type feature. And then of course, like I said, center part drops out when the door opens. There will also be a switch to override these. So if you either want them to stay up or if you want them to stay down, say you were washing the truck or something like that, you could have these things stay down so you could actually reach up to the roof, windshield, stuff like that.
Yeah, what were these originally made for? Like a Jeep Wrangler?
Yep,
right?
Yeah, four-door Wrangler. They were a little bit long, which we were cutting them all up anyway.
Yeah.
The ends actually got scalloped back a little bit, so they've got a little bit of angle on them. Boxed everything off. It had plastic end caps, which we just welded it, metal finished it. Another nice feature that won't stand out unless you've messed with these trucks a lot is this lower fender right here on most C10s. It actually dives in, so it was inboard probably 3/4 of an inch. So it makes these trucks have a little bit of a funny look right here. It kind of looks like you ran over something and dented the fender. So he actually drilled out all the spot welds in the brace, pulled this fender out straight, and re-welded it so you get this nice, consistent straight line along the rocker.
That is clean.
And then again, step powers back up in place. And, you know, it'll all be painted black, so just kind of flow. The truck will be gloss black, and then this will more than likely be a satin black detail.
So it'll still be subtle, but it'll stand out a little bit.
Yep. And then the other big thing is, got our hood, came in. Zach up at Fiber Forge, they had done a carbon hood for us for the blue C10 we're finishing up. And so this is the same hood done in fiberglass, but then actually a carbon set of louvers or heat extractors in this hood. So really, really nice piece. I mean, everything they do is really nice. They're the ones doing all the composite work for the Daytona project. So they knocked this one out for us. These are all actually production parts that anybody can buy, with the exception of the louvers here. These were machined out of ABS in a honeycomb pattern. And so what we'll do is we'll come in here, cut these out, and then these will actually bond in from the inside to finish out this detail.
Are we doing one in each, or are we doing it just the three?
Yeah, the alternating pattern
It'll
you
be
see.
alternate,
We
okay.
talked about doing all of them. You know, just a street cruiser, you know, kind of unnecessary to have that much ventilation out from under the hood, but you know, it gives us the aesthetic detail and then still does evacuate some of the hot air. So you can see they go one more level and finish it out nice underneath. There's a real nice reinforcement flange bonded to the hood. You know, a lot of times guys or companies will put louvers in and just bolt it through just the single wall exterior of the hood, which
So that just kind of helps seal it a little bit more.
yeah, and it reinforces it because
Yeah.
obviously you got a huge hole in the hood.
Right.
You know, you're going to weaken it, so that gives it some of its strength back. And again, it's more detail, it's more finished. You know, it's that extra step that counts. Another neat thing about these hoods is this is a full. It's actually a two-piece, so you know you have your full exterior structure of the hood, and then this is a fully enclosed, finished interior underhood structure. So it's finished out really nice. You don't see like some hoods, you see the raw carbon or raw fiberglass weave, which is basically the bottom side of the top layer. This one's fully finished out, so it's, you know, you can paint this thing body color inside and out, and it basically be perfect when you're done.
All right, Matt. So let's talk about Deb's Firebird. What's new? What's new going on here?
So we're making the push right now to get this thing ready to send down to interior towards the end of the month. Ton of wiring's been happening, final assembly type stuff. You can see the inner fender mocked up. Mark's building the AC and heater lines. So working out hose links and fittings and everything like that. The whole engine itself is basically wired, done. You know, everything's tucked really nice. Got all of our fuel rail covers and everything like that. So, you know, you can see the little bit of injector harnesses come down behind the water pump. All of our coils are remote mounted down here. So all that stuff's hidden. And then our actual main engine harness be down low out of the way. So everything tucked away real clean.
Are these relocation brackets, or are those something that we made, or did we purchase those from somewhere?
Those are something we made
Did it?
in-house. Yeah, we've made several iterations over the years for different projects, and kind of have to adapt them, you know, per vehicle. So we basically started with one of our previous designs and then modified for this application.
Yes.
You basically want to try to land everything in the engine compartment that you can before you have to put the front clip on.
Right.
So saves you from scratching fenders, bumper, and stuff like that. Got our
Windows are in.
side glass, mirrors. It's got power window regulators. Did our window felts and stuff like this. Kind of hard to tell. These cars had a factory stainless bead here, and so this is actually a black Cerakote. This car won't have any stainless or chrome trim on the exterior, so we had this bead Cerakoted. It actually matches the sheen of the rubber really well.
Yeah, I actually thought it was rubber.
Yeah.
Looking at it.
Yeah, no, it's a black Cerakote.
Nice.
Door handles are in. These are something that we designed and machined in-house. You know, people probably saw the stamped recess, so the handle nests in 100% flush, and then operates off of the factory-style door latches still. Then you can see Jason is making a really hard push at all the dash wiring. A ton of relays, circuit breakers, another relay center over there. So between your windows, fuel pump, all your ignition switch relays, you know, there's a lot of mounting that gets done behind the dash, a lot of key electrical components.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of pre-planning.
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure. Vintage air is all mocked up. Like I said, that's what Mark's been working on. That'll come in and out several times in building all of the hoses, the evaporator drain, and everything like that. But other than the dash wiring, you know, the whole rear of the car had been wired already. You can see battery cables over here going to the trunk.
Yeah.
One thing that we do on a lot of builds that a lot of people probably don't realize is we put the e-brake cables through the floorboard of the car. They're always the lowest hanging point under the car. So we'll typically make a little pocket, make quite a few hold downs. And so it just keeps it tucked up. You know, it's not hanging under the floorboard. It's not flopping around. You don't worry about,
Kind of keeps it up out of the way.
you're not worrying about the road grime and corrosion and stuff like that. Got the whole rear assembled. What will happen ultimately is this is already painted blue metallic. It will get a series of stripes and pinstripes. So this has been based and cleared, wet sanded. We will lay the stripes out, and once that's painted on, then it will get re-cleared, polished, buffed and polished, and then reinstalled. You have to install these pieces on the car, obviously, to make sure your stripe layout's 100% straight. So that's why all this goes together, and you see that this hasn't been polished. And again, totally scratch built aluminum spoiler that Mark built.
How close is this to the factory spoiler? Like as far as design?
Overall style is similar. The factory spoiler, however, stood up a lot more vertical, more like a blade.
So this one kind of just lays back a little more?
Yeah, it's got a lot more shape rearward. Follows a similar contour up here. You know, we've added a little bit of length to it this way. But the biggest detail that Wayne and Deb were looking for was that more laid back. You know, it doesn't look like a big fin. It actually looks more like a traditional spoiler. You know, tail lights, tail panel in the car.
I love how those sit in there. They blend into the car really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, not having stainless chrome, polished trim or anything like that.
Yeah.
That stuff kind of dies down. Also with the bumper on, again, you can see early 70s Firebirds, this bumper was actually probably 8 to 10 inches overall length originally. So we shortened this thing back. And then there was actually a stamp feature on the quarter panel that also had to be shortened. So still stock styling, but cleaned up. Got one really high performance mod right here too that a lot of people probably didn't see. Finger grab, because these things are a pain to grab the tag bracket for the fuel. And then also
it's the small details.
Yep, another high performance one. It's a little prop rod. Because again, when you're putting fuel in one of these things, you're always fighting, holding it down, putting the fuel nozzle in and whatnot. So
someone's gonna watch this and they're building a Firebird or a Camaro themselves, and they're gonna be like, that's the best idea ever.
Like the prop rods, it's handy, but the finger grab is that's where it's at.
That's the big one, yeah.
I guess you could probably go to Lowe's, like get you a mailbox door, and just rob the grab off of it. We did not do that. That is hand fabricated.
You'll get the fuel tank too.
Fuel tank's painted, ready to go in. The car's fully plumbed in stainless hard lines, and then all of the soft whips will be black anodized fittings and the black polyester Ultra Pro hose. Yeah, this one's moving along good. Like I said, shooting to send it to interior. It's going to M&M towards the end of the month, so probably be down there for a month and a half, and then it'll come back, get totally buttoned up, and start putting some miles on it.
Nice. That's what we're all excited to see is see it out on the road.
Yeah, once you get them 90% assembled and you can set it on the ground and it starts to look like a real car, that's when it gets fun.
What are we doing to the interior specifically? Like what kind of color scheme?
Black and gray. It's kind of like a charcoal for the seat inserts. Black dash, just dashes. Revinyled the dash after we did some modifications to it. It's got some small carbon accents inside, so just kind of toned down. A lot of darker shades. Black carpet, like your German. Real fine velour type carpet, so it'll be cool. It'll be really nice inside.
All right, so over here in the paint and body side now, we have Kevin's GTO, and my man Austin is going to tell us about it. So Austin, what's going on with the GTO?
We started getting the body work started on the rear of the car. We just got the front and rear bumper back from blast. Stripped all the chrome off of them. Josh is getting that fit back on. We got to get the hood, which we had stripped, get it back on. That way we can line up all the front sheet metal again. Rear deck lid all gapped to the quarters, starting to move up to the front doors now. So we hope to have it in primer in the next few weeks, maybe painted by Christmas.
Is this one getting any stripes or anything, or is it just going to be solid color?
Yeah, it's going to be almost like a root beer brown. No stripes. Got a lot of work to do, so stay tuned.
All right, so that's it, everyone, for this month's episode of our Project Shop Update vlog. Thank you, Matt.
No problem.
Thank you, Austin. We'll be back next month, kind of update you on everything that's going on, so stay tuned.